Nice day now today. Bad forecast though, very bad forecast. Very bad forecast today and for the weekend. Thundery showers. So, going to make the best of the nice weather at lunchtime. I think it's the 14th of June 2024. Enoch Burke lost his defamation case there yesterday. A lot of comment online about it and so on, but the law is the law, and that's about the height of it. A lot of people don't understand about defamation and what defamation involves, and a lot of people then have ideas that they're supporters of Burke's and Burke's position, so they couldn't give a shit, quite frankly, about the law, and they don't care about the proofs required to win a defamation claim. So for defamation you need to prove at least two things. One, that there has been a publication, either oral or in writing, about you that's factually incorrect. But secondly, that publication damages your reputation in the eyes of reasonable persons. So has your reputation been damaged? And in Burke's case, Enoch Burke's case, the judge said because he was in contempt of court, because he was essentially therefore a contemnor, his reputation was already damaged. His reputation was already diminished, and the words spoken of, the 7 paragraphs in the Sunday Independent, even though they were factually incorrect, they were to the extent or to the effect that he was annoying. He was essentially so annoying in prison that other prisoners were liable to lose the head. And get that camera right there now. Were liable to lose the head and perhaps inflict violence on him. But the judge found that the words spoken or published, even though they were factually incorrect, did not diminish his reputation, because his reputation was already diminished by his own actions and by the fact that he was a contemnor. And that was one of the arguments in court by the legal team for the Sunday Independent, that he was essentially going to the High Court looking for damages, looking for a remedy, looking for his good name to be restored, looking for compensation for the damage to his good name, to the very body, the High Court, whose orders he has repeatedly ignored, the High Court who he has accused of all sorts of corruption and nefarious behaviour and so on. So there is, even at its most basic, a very obvious contradiction or paradox or irony in, on the one hand, saying the High Court is Beelzebub's, house and is corrupt, and God will take care of you and God will sort you out and so on and so forth, and I'm not going to pay any heed to your orders. And then, on the other hand, you take offence at a publication in a newspaper, and where do you go to get your remedy, your damages, to have your good name and reputation restored? You go to the very same High Court. There's a clear paradox or irony involved in that. Anyway, there is a cyclist far side. Jesus, it looks beautiful down here, I think. It looks beautiful. Enoch Burke then is in court today. His review of his incarceration, his imprisonment in Mountjoy, is up for review today, and that's to do with his breach of the court order to stay away from Wilson's Hospital School. And I believe that the judge may well release him today, simply because the school is closed. The school is closed probably a fortnight at this stage. There's no pupils there, and the judge probably thinks that it's safe enough to release him at this stage, and he's hardly going to show up on the premises. But who knows? Who knows? But that's my view, that he probably will be released simply because the school is closed. And if he rocks back up then in September and begins to trespass again, well, then he could well be jailed again. But that's speculation on my behalf. It's lovely to hear the birds down here at lunchtime. I only take a short break at lunch, and I generally exercise in the evening time then when I go home. I go for a run every evening, and then I cycle at the weekend. Go for a good cycle on a Saturday and Sunday, and I run then Monday to Friday. So I'll go for a run this evening. So when I come out at lunchtime on a day like today, it's simply just to get a bit of well needed fresh air into my lungs. But it's not really to exercise, because obviously you can't really exercise now wearing a suit, a tin of fruit as it were. So I'm only coming out, and often I'll make a video to make the most of my time, and to maybe just use my new camera. I have an Osmo Pocket 3. That's what I'm recording this on, and it's very good. But I was trying to get my little wireless mic to work with it, and I can't get it to work just at the moment without the transmitter. But I was hoping the receiver alone would work, but it won't. And the problem with this particular camera is that if I plug in my little tripod, I can't plug in the transmitter, and so I can't have a wireless mic. And it would be very, very useful just to break up the videos and to give different shots from different spaces or different areas and so on. So that's it. That's the technical stuff for the Osmo Pocket 3, which is a fantastic little camera. Anyway, back to work now. My old petrol station now is over here on the right hand side. I'll swivel around this camera now and you'll see it, but you have to appreciate that it's a fairly unique experience for me to be walking up and down here past that petrol station, where I would have spent a good few years working really, really hard at a completely different job to what I'm doing now. I had the first car wash in Enfield. There it is over there, the petrol station. But I had the first car wash in Enfield. Actually it's still there, although that's not the one that I put in. The first car wash at Enfield, and then I would have spent a good bit of time dipping tanks down on my knees there with a dipping rod, dipping the bloody tanks. I didn't have electronic gauges at that stage. All the money went into developing it. There it is there again now. So strange for me to be walking past that, and some days I buy water or milk in it or whatever for my tea, but it's so strange sometimes to be walking past. You get a kind of a flashback to literally been down on my knees with the little stones on the forecourt cutting into my knees, dipping tanks and stuff like that. And now I'm walking up and down with a suit on me, and I'm a solicitor and have a completely different business. It's strange though, because I know those flower beds there and so on. I put all those in, and all that red brick that you can see over there, I actually just copied ESSO's methodology, standard operating procedure at the time, and I just copied ESSO and went with a lot of red brick and so on and so forth. But anyway, that's the story, and as I say, sometimes it's very strange walking past that place, and walking into it for petrol or for milk and so on. Anyway, that's life. You never know.